Welcome to the Downtown, brought to you by our own studio. I am Gerald Smith Jr., and across the internet from me is...
I am Rody John. On today's show, we talk to Santiago Sodini, a.k.a. Santi. He is the new general manager of your Dallas Jackals here in Arlington, Texas. We talked to him about where he's hoping to take the team next season and how he can bring his player and coaching experience to the Jackals.
We also talk with Marissa from Arlington Yoga Center about how they started, the events that they hold, and what they have and what they're working on in the future.
And I was lucky enough to be part of the XFL Press Conference a couple of weeks ago. And so we got a couple highlights from them, talking to our Arlington coach, Bob Stoops, and the XFL president, Russ Brandon.
And you were mere steps away from the great one.
The People's Champ was literally, I could have touched him. There was a guy in between us, and there was a lady who said that I was not supposed to be in the VIP section, which was a bit confusing because I turned around, I was in the press section. So, but I was going to say hi to Jim Ross, and then, it happened to be that The Rock was there along with Danny Garcia, the owners of the XFL. But, I decided not to, ruffle any feathers. They are going to come back, obviously. They're going to be based here in Arlington, which is going to be fantastic. There's still no names for the actual teams. However, they did announce 3 Texas teams, Arlington being one of them, not Dallas.
Yes, Arlington. I think that's really cool that we finally get a team name on it. Like, I don't even care almost what the team name is. I'm going to buy the shirt just because, we don't have any other sports. Like, we have so many sports teams here. I mean, so many Dallas Jackals. The North Texas Soccer Club, the Rangers, the Dallas Wings, but none of them say Arlington.
None of them.
And that's fine. I get it. They're representing a greater metropolitan area because DFW is one of the biggest metropolitan areas in the country, but,
Okay.
I like that. I like when people call out Arlington.
I mean, it just makes sense. They did say that they're going to be based here in Arlington. All the players are going to play here. Coaches are going to live here. By playing here, I mean practice here, and they are going to live here. But they will go out on the weekends, play their football game, and then come back. So it's not only great for Arlington itself, but it's great for the Metroplex as well. So you're welcome, Metroplex, for allowing us, to help you as well.
And all I'm going to say is everyone better be going to all the hot spots in Arlington because you never know where The Rock might show up. You don't think The Rock is going to try Hurtado Barbecue? You damn well know he's going to try Hurtado Barbecue. He's going to get the El Jefe for himself.
He's going to have that cheat meal picture, like you said, the El Jefe just by himself. Him just, he's going to finish it all because that's how big he is. He's a gigantic human being.
I saw a jet today in my backyard, flying towards the Arlington airport, and it was like a nice, plane, but it was, a smaller aircraft than what you would normally see, I think, flying to the airport. And my first thought was, it's The Rock. And it really could be, it really could be.
He snuck in here before. I'm pretty sure he'll sneak in here again.
Agreed.
Here with the new general manager for our local rugby team, the Dallas Jackals. We are here with Santi. How are you today, sir?
I'm very well, Sean. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming on. So, first off, welcome to the Dallas Jackals. Your resume is stellar. You've played and you've coached worldwide, including Australia, Italy, and England. What do you hope to bring into the Dallas Jackals?
Hopefully I will add value. That's my mindset of I try to bring to any organization I've been working, as you mentioned, when I was a player, when I was a coach, when I was a director of operations, or when I was a manager in different sports organizations. I'm trying to add value and trying to help everyone to get to their goals, to their targets, and get better. Yeah, get better as a team.
Right. So what do you think you've taken the most from being a player and then into a coach now that you've seen both sides of it, and then now looking through both lenses into a general manager position?
Yes, I mean, being a player is, let's say, the best part of being involved with rugby or any sport. Yeah? Any athlete in any sport is the best part that you can enjoy being there and compete. And of course, I learned to, rugby fundamentals is go forward all the time, because we always talk about we're going to be getting tackled. As in life, you get tackled, but you need to carry on, and you need to get up and carry on and ask for the ball, carry, and keep going. And I think that those are, core values that we learn since we were kids. I'm talking about rugby players, and that helps us on our next part of our lives when we are not playing anymore. We're not able to be on the field anymore. And then regarding coaching, I believe that gives a lot of ideas and different point of views of how to be a leader. But when I say, leadership is a big word nowadays, but when we talk about leadership, we need to understand that we need to make people be on the same boat as us. So that's a tough challenge, or a big challenge when you are a coach, to make sure that the players, they like what they say and they commit to do give their best in every scenario, and put their bodies on the line, and and trust you. So I think that being a coach helps you understand a lot of those things. And when you are a GM, you need to have a good understanding of everyone involved in the organization, what they are doing, what are their needs, and help them get to their, as mentioned before, get to their goals. So you need to understand and learn about each process in the organization, not only players or not only the coaches.
Right. Yeah, you kind of are able to just kind of put all the good pieces together and hope that they all gel as well as you see it in your own head. So,
yeah, of course.
Also,
making sure. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. So, I wanted to add you that, of course, helping the business side as well, because we're talking about companies. We're not just talking about amateur teams. We're talking about companies, and make sure that we win on the field, and of course, win off the field. We are profitable as well.
Right. I mean, especially being one of the newer rugby teams in the league, it is a little more important to make sure that the money is going to the right places. Especially since, unfortunately, the first season did not go as well as everyone hoped. Hence, part of the rebuilding situation that's happening, which is not a bad thing. Rebuilding can very well be a good thing. I mean, for all of us in the Metroplex, we all know how rebuilding goes with the Texas Rangers, the Dallas Cowboys exactly haven't gone too far in the past 20, almost 30 years. We're here in the Metroplex. We're used to teams rebuilding and just finding themselves again.
Yes, I mean, that from different sports. You are spot on everything you mentioned. When you rebuild, you need to learn from the past, and we learned from last season. I've been through the same experience in Atlanta as well, like ATL. I mean, the first season is always tough. It's the first step. Of course, it's impossible to get to the playoffs on the first season. It's almost impossible. But then, the key thing after that is to learn from that and, have a plan not to make the same mistakes and get better. That's it. That's part of, as you mentioned, the rebuilding of any sports organization or any process.
Right. You kind of touched on it. You finished up as a director of operations with the Rugby ATL, who came in as runner-up last season. What do you think you'll take from that winning formula that was there and bring into the Dallas Jackals, which unfortunately did not do very well last season?
I think we need to get better in every aspect. asking the players what are their needs, what are the needs for the coaches who are bringing new coaches, while hiring a new head coach, but making sure we are getting better in every aspect. I mean, we're having phone calls and one-on-ones with a lot of people that were involved with the organization last year. And, I mean, we're trying to get a better process because we think as a system, so there are a lot of processes, you know, when you talk about high performance, you need to understand how are especially, you know, we have a gym, we have the field trainings, we have video analysis, we have, of course, the recovery part. We need to have proper systems in place for each aspect, and the academy as well. I mean, we want to develop the rugby in the region as well. So this is not like only a professional team, but we want to get better as well with the local people, with the local players. And again, it's learning from good organizations in the area like FC Dallas, that they have done a great job within their academy. They have 6,000 players in their academy. They have they have international players that are playing for USA at the moment, and they're going to be in the World Cup, and they came from Dallas Academy. So, and that was maybe 20 years, 25 years. I mean, they made a great job there, and we need to make sure we have a great pathway as well for our kids from the community, yeah.
Right, exactly. Now, you've helped build one of the most extensive sports monitoring systems with the USA Soccer and Major League Soccer academies. Can you tell us about it and how it can help in the rugby world as well? Yes.
So when USA, I mean, because of the way the way the country is, you know, so big, USA, it's not like Germany, one of the, let's say in terms of soccer, you have Germany, you have the last World Cup champions were France, and then of course when you talk about European or maybe South American, it's easier for them to have a proper, let's say, monitoring program of the players in their academies, especially again, if you're in Europe, like England, France, or Germany, or even Italy, we're talking about short distances, especially if you want to do a camp, easy. Here, we can see that you have a team in Seattle, then another team in Dallas, of course, and you have teams and great academies in South Florida. It's very, very difficult to track everything if you don't have data and reliable technology to see and, let's say, in an efficient way to check and track how are the players training and playing. So when you put GPS, you can track their movements in a good way, you know, because when I'm talking about tracking their movements, I'm talking about when they are on the field, of course, and after having this analyzed by the SNC coaches there, and you can have a proper database and you can have proper information about the way the kids are training, and you can look for patterns and you can analyze how to get better and see different ideas and implement them during training session or during games. So, long story short, the only way to track in this country that is so big is through technology. We started with GPS, of course, and it's going really well. I mean, we started at first with the women's teams all over the country, and it was great because, you know, soccer, the soccer USA national soccer team, the women's team is the best in the world, and it's been like that in the last 10 years. And let's say we copied a bit to the men's, and it was great, and it's going really well. You can see that USA is getting better and better in soccer with men's as well.
Right. And we've definitely seen a huge upswing when it comes to not only the attention for the women's soccer team, but obviously within the past, I think it was the last 3 to 5 years, they finally were able to get the pay structure properly to where they're getting paid the same, if not, with sponsorships a little better than the men's, because they're actually winning. And it's showing that, women around the world, especially little girls, they want to be playing sports. They want to be, some of them, of course, still want to be the intellectual ones out there, which is fantastic. And, of course, some of them, unfortunately, still want to be, content creators, which is not a terrible thing. It's kind of what we do here at the podcast. But at the same time, you still have all these girls that are feeling lost, and they get the inspiration from the women's soccer teams, not just the, Olympic one, but now you've got the women playing around the world, and they are absolutely killing it. So, I mean, I'm sure you've seen that firsthand, and it's absolutely amazing and inspiring.
Yes. Yes, and I believe that, with the World Cup coming to USA in 2026, with soccer it's going to be great. And then with that's soccer, and then with Rugby World Cup coming to USA in 2031, we are going to be building the same pathway. I mean, we have the best thing to do to show the kids that there is going to be a World Cup here. We're going to be playing at home for them. So, I mean, that's a dream. The dream comes true for USA in every aspect. In terms of rugby, and be able to show the kids of all over the country that they have a great opportunity to play for USA in the Rugby World Cup at home. That's unique. I mean, that's going to be unique. And I feel like I've seen that the same process in Japan, and once you start the process, the way, with the things that we're putting in place with the MLR, especially with the academies, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. Now, as of recording time, today the Dallas Jackals have announced a new team president in Steve Villeta, and I believe there is still a search for a new head coach. What can you tell us about Steve, and do you have maybe a top 5 list of coaches you look to have come to Dallas?
Yeah, about Steve, Italian as me, so we are Italians, both of us, Violetta, and I'm Sodini, so we're coming from the same places, and apart from that, he's a very experienced professional in terms of sponsorship and the commercial part of sports. He has had great success in different major league sports organizations, and I think it's great. It's great not only for Dallas Jackals, it's great for the league, with people like him bringing sponsors to again for our franchise first, but more sponsors are going to be approaching different franchises all over the MLR. Regarding the head coach, we're trying to finish that process in the next 10 days, 2 weeks. And of course, we're trying to get into the sweet spot that we can talk with, we can have a head coach that can be developing players and be successful and in terms of high performance, because we are developing here, and on the other hand as well, we need to win. That's a professional organization what is looking at when you have a professional team, and we need to. We're looking to. I think we're going to get the right people in.
Right. I believe the same. Now, we have a segment on the show called Tournament of Toppings. We're trying to find the best pizza place. I know you haven't been long in the DFW area, but while you're in Georgia, have you found a favorite pizza place?
I miss it. I have to be honest, I miss it. I don't have I can go anywhere. I can go, of course, to Caesars. There was one called Caesars. I don't know if there are any franchise in Texas, but there was one Caesars, Little Caesars. And then, of course, it's Pizza Hut. Yeah. I know that I don't have any issues with pizza. I used to be a prop, so I can eat anywhere, any kind of pizza. No issues with that. But I'm happy to go anywhere that you can recommend in the area, John.
Oh yeah, I mean, most people recommend Old School here in Arlington. Old School is a fantastic place, right on UTA campus, basically. And then, Mama's Pizza is another popular one. Dex needs a pizza. We have a lot of them. We can give you a whole list.
Yes, please, because I tell you what, after the rugby game, that's my menu. Just pizza. That's it. That's the only thing I'm looking at. Pizza.
Yeah, we'll definitely make that happen for you. Not a problem.
Okay.
Now, if people want to find out more about the Dallas Jackals, yourself, all the new hirings, the new chapter, if you will, of the Dallas Jackals, where can they go and how can they find y'all?
Yes, it's very easy. Our website is, of course, dallasjackals.com, and we're going to be playing, in a Choctaw Stadium, former Texas Rangers Stadium. I mean, if you go to Texas Rangers Stadium, you won't miss it because it's literally in front of it. We'll be looking to have everyone with us in the MLR 2023 season, starting in February next year. So yeah, we're excited to have everyone with us there.
I'm excited too. I love going to the first game ever played here in Arlington, and I can't wait to see what the new chapter and the new season holds. Santi, thank you so much for the time, and I look forward to meeting you in person, maybe over a slice of pizza or something.
Yes, please. I'm looking forward to that as well, John. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you, sir.
We are here with Marissa with Arlington Yoga Center. How are you today, ma'am?
Doing great. Thanks for asking.
Thanks for coming on. So how did Arlington Yoga Center start?
Arlington Yoga Center has been around for over 20 years.
Wow.
It started out with Miranda Dyslin, who started the Yoga Center, and then eventually at some point around 2014, 2015, she decided to transition to a new section of her life.
Right.
My husband David at the time happened to be teaching there and had for a few years. And she asked if he was interested in taking over. Wow. And so that's where we kind of came in. The physical studio location itself has been around for probably about 10 years.
Okay.
And hopefully many more.
Yeah, exactly. So how did y'all, how did the move happen to the new location?
Oh, so she moved from one location to the next.
Right.
When we took it over, we're still in the same location.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that location is right off of Abrams, just down the road, central to UTA.
Right.
So we're right around the corner from that and near downtown.
Yeah, right by the Tin Cup, which is great.
Yeah.
And so, so what all does the Arlington Yoga Center offer?
So Arlington Yoga Center is a non-heated studio.
Okay.
When you talk about the technicalities of yoga styles, I guess you would say that we practice predominantly Hatha yoga, which is a traditional style of yoga. But we do offer gentle classes. That's the predominant amount of classes that we have there.
Okay.
We have a lot of people that get recommendations from their doctors or physical therapists to come check us out.
Yeah.
We just want classes to be as accessible as possible.
Right.
So we have gentle, we have restorative, we have vinyasa, an all levels class. And so kind of a little bit of everything.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I love doing yoga. I like hot yoga myself, but I just like because you get to sweat and kind of get all the toxins and stuff out.
Yeah, no, I tell people, because we don't do, hot yoga at the studio, but we do outdoor yoga classes.
Right.
In the summer, today, if we do an outdoor yoga class, it's hot yoga. So.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to mention, so you guys put on a lot of events throughout the year.
Yeah.
And then, a lot of them are over at Lake Arlington, which I like a lot because it's right by, not that I've been, but it's right by my house. So how did y'all start doing outside events like that? And then what events can people look forward to in the future?
Yeah, for sure. So the outdoor events started pretty much whenever I'm out, I see things in a sense of, could we do yoga there? I love the outdoors. I love going hiking, cycling, walking my dog. So it kind of came to fruition that once I started or discovered yoga, I wanted to practice outside.
Right.
So, yeah, and then, wanted to see if anybody else was interested in practicing outside, and it turns out a lot of people do. So, well, especially with Bowman Springs Park, which is where the Lake Arlington yoga classes are, it's such a gorgeous location.
Oh, it is.
You get like that 180 view of the lake. We do like a sunset class. You get the sun setting down. Boats are going across the water. It creates that nice like glistening effect. It's really pretty out there. So.
And they just redid that park, so it looks so much better now too.
Yeah.
So, can you talk about kind of the pricing and the packages people can look forward to with it?
Yeah, for sure. So a walk-in would be $15.
Okay.
We have a military teacher and senior discount.
Very nice.
That takes off $5, making it $10 to come in.
Okay.
Student as well.
Yeah.
Another option that you could do is to buy what we call class packages, which is buying like a chunk of classes. It gives you a discount and they do not expire.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we have like 5 for 50, 10 for 100, and then, you can just do them whenever you like.
Yeah.
We also have for $89 an unlimited, which means, you can come to as many classes as you want.
Right.
And then we have an $87 option that's unlimited, but it's a recurring, so it just kind of takes off a couple dollars if you just have it recurring from your credit card. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, how did yoga come into your life?
Into mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I lost my dad back in 2009.
Sorry to hear
and thank you, I appreciate that. I lost my dad in 2009 and I was struggling with that.
Right.
I needed to find something to kind of fill the void instead of partying a bunch.
Or celebrating his life, I guess.
Yeah. But so one of my friends was a yoga teacher, which was my friend David, who is now my husband. And he suggested that I come try out yoga.
Okay.
And the first time I did it, I cried.
Yeah.
It was a great release at the end of class. And I just loved the way I felt and noticed that the more I practiced, the more my emotional state was even keel. Or that I could at least bring awareness to when my emotions started kind of like ebbing and flowing.
Right.
And I really liked that.
Yeah.
So I just kept practicing and eventually got to the point where I wanted to teach.
Okay.
David and I got married and he took over the yoga center.
Right.
And this is where we're at now, just trying to keep the doors open, trying to bring yoga to the community. And introduce yoga into people's lives and let them know how profound it can be.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's truly, because you're finding that center, it's almost like it's moving meditation, kind of.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you are trying to find your center of yourself. You're listening to your body, because a lot of the poses can not be they can be challenging somewhat, but it also depends on what your fitness level and your flexibility level and all that is. So, and your balance level, depending on what pose it is as well. So, listening to your body and finding out exactly where you are, especially that day, because you can wake up, or depending on what time you do the yoga, you can wake up, go to yoga, and just kind of have a good balance to your day, or you do it at the end of your day, and like all the work stress or home stress, whatever, even road to the yoga center can be stressful. So, just finding that release and getting all that out is fantastic.
Well, and it's even better when we now know, how breathing practices those have been incorporated into therapies. And so we can, when we say meditation, that type of branch of yoga is really important. And I enjoy being able to look at the science side of it, at the studies. That helps me and my logical mind kind of piece together. But the feeling of it too, it's interesting how something so simple as taking time to be aware of your breath and to just gently move your body can again have such a profound effect, but it's so hard to, like we were talking about earlier, carve out that time in your life to do something like that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we're almost taught now to just go to the next thing. All right, you done with this? Go on to whatever.
Yeah.
And as much as you could just sit down and binge watch whatever or listen to this, that, and the other, you need to find that time for yourself to genuinely find yourself and not have any outside influences on what's going on. Just focus on what you're doing right there, and like you said, focus on your breath.
Yeah, and nowadays as well, there's all sorts of different kinds of meditations that you can try. There's different types of breathing practices, all types of yoga, and I think it's wonderful with having the internet that we have access to that, because every person's different.
Yep.
So, what works for me may not work for you.
Exactly.
And it's good to have access to those resources so you can explore and find what works for you.
Right.
So.
I mean, I think that's why there are so many good, not versions, but different methods of yoga. Like, the ones you guys teach, people like the hot stuff,
yes, exactly.
Other kinds where they have goats on them for whatever reason.
We've done the goat.
Yeah. But people love that, and so it actually gets them out there to do yoga, which is good. And then maybe they find, I don't need a goat, but I do enjoy the yoga part.
Yeah, exactly. That was so we did a few goat yoga classes with Legal Draft.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Legal Draft.
And one of the aspects of it, just as much as yoga is a relaxation practice, having time with animals can boost serotonin.
Yes.
So that was another fun little throw in is, so you're there, you're doing the yoga, you're cuddling with goats, it's giving you all these feel good moments. And within that, people can be like, oh my gosh, I thought yoga was like putting your foot behind your head or like going upside down. And our class is let's just roll around, focus on our breathing, that kind of environment. So we've gotten a lot of customers just from those events and from those realizations that yoga isn't as physical, isn't as intense as kind of the media presents it to be.
Yeah, which is so funny because it's like it's not CrossFit, it's yoga.
Yes, it's crazy how I'm more mid-size, and when I first started doing yoga, I couldn't find a thick yoga instructor to save my life. It was all very thin, fit ladies. So it's been nice over the years as we've been having those conversations about body acceptance and having representation in that sense, so that people don't think that they can't do yoga because they don't have the right body type.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, people go to the gym and they don't have the right body type, so like, why can't they go do yoga or Pilates or anything really?
Exactly, and that's the media. The media, sells us that we aren't good enough, or that we need to go to the gym or go to the yoga studio so that we can look a certain way.
Yeah.
When ultimately any movement practice is there so that you feel good, so that it engages the quality of your life. Yeah. So, I hope we start to realize that more and, shun the media or something along those lines.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, that's kind of a life. But the media, there's good things here and there, because unfortunately the broad bit of it is not the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like predominant.
Right.
What we get, like mainstream.
Yes, mainstream media. Go find your own news in any place you can, but also don't just read headlines, read full articles, and then go check out other articles that might say the same or different. You need multiple ways to get your knowledge.
Yeah.
But so going back to the community, y'all are very active in the community, which is fantastic. How important is it for y'all to help bring the community together?
So, like I was telling you earlier before we started, I've lived here my whole life. Went to Duff Bailey, Arlington, UTA, and now we have a small business here. And so having your roots in a place really makes you, or, engages you to want it to succeed. Right. And you can't do that without having the community that lives in it. And so that was something that was important to me when we took over the yoga studio. A lot of people, we just didn't have a lot of people coming in, and then we also had people that kind of thought of it as exotic still, you know. So it was really nice to start finding these community events so that people didn't feel so intimidated stepping into a yoga studio.
Right.
So we have our outdoor yoga, we have, you know, brunch and yoga at Sanford House. We have a yoga series at the Arlington Museum of Art.
Oh, that's so cool.
So all sorts of environments for, you know, different types of people. If you love the arts, you can do yoga and then go check out the museum.
Right.
If you want to do brunch with your girlfriends, you can go do yoga and then have brunch. If you want to do a hike, go do yoga and go hiking.
Yeah.
So, you know, just try to find a way to engage the community with feel-good events. And
that's good.
Yeah.
Now, we also kind of touched on what people just need to be active and, you know, just do something. So how can people kind of, besides obviously go to Arlington Yoga, what can people do at home to try to kind of just keep moving and maybe do some stretches or poses, or which poses do you think are best?
So I always like to suggest to people YouTube. It's a great free resource for starting out. We have a YouTube channel.
What's the YouTube channel?
Arlington Yoga Center.
There it is. Easy enough.
Yeah. But I mean, and those are classes. We have an instructor that releases a gentle yoga class every week.
Okay.
But aside from that, you can also find Yoga with Adrienne is another.
I think I've done some of her classes. I like her a lot.
She's amazing. And so
she's one with a dog that'll normally be in the background.
But yeah, those are, again, YouTube is a great resource just to get an idea, to be introduced to it. If you have never done yoga before, one of my favorite poses is laying down on the mat and bringing your knees into your chest.
Yeah.
And if you can't grab your knees, you can grab a strap or a towel, put that around your shins, and then just rock side to side. And just bring awareness into your breath. That one, for me, is super relaxing. For, you know, everybody it's different.
Right.
Yeah. Another great one is sitting in a comfortable seated position, rolling the shoulders up to the ears, and then relaxing them back and down with an exhale. Doing, drawing circles with the chin.
Oh, okay.
Releasing tension in the upper portion of the body. We tend to, you know,
keep it all
clench our teeth, furrow the brow, and all that. So just giving a little extra love there can be really nice without a lot of work or effort. But yeah, you know, again, talking about the internet and how great it is for resources. YouTube, and then also try some of the suggestions I just.
Right, exactly. Those are fantastic.
Thank you.
Could you tell us some of your favorite stories about people's transformations?
About people's transformations.
Like people, the way they came in, maybe couldn't even, you know, touch their knees or barely could bend over, and now they're, you know, doing headstands or complete splits or just doing balance, like poses that they wouldn't even think they could do.
Yeah, so some of my favorites are, like I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of seniors that come in, and so usually by their doctors suggest them to like do some yoga or some stretching or something like that. It's always really, really cool to see them have better balance or be able to grab their leg when they couldn't before. And they'll be like, you know, hey, check this out, and, you know, show it real quick. Because a lot of the times I think we have this idea like, if you don't use it, you lose it type mentality, but also if you use it, like you can regain it back type mindset. So there are certain practices, certain things we can do physically that can bring back what we've lost in a sense at any age. And that's why it's so cool for the seniors that we have coming in to see them be able to progress and feel better and you know, all that stuff.
No, that's good though. I mean, I believe the older we get, the more we actually need activity, because again, we can have such a sedentary lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And not that, again, the media pushes a sedentary lifestyle, but you know, they have to fit travel commercials in there somewhere because people are like, oh, I guess I do need to go somewhere else. But otherwise, it's watch this new show, watch this new movie, buy this new thing to eat or drink or whatever. Yeah,
all the time.
Right.
I know I've gotten into that kind of rap, especially when 2020 hit.
Right.
My husband and I really like Marvel movies.
Oh, nice.
And so when they came out, like Disney came out with, you know, like Marvel show, Marvel movie, Marvel show. And then so it was constantly, we always joke about how they're just, you know, please, can we have some more?
Yes, all the time. Yeah. Any random character you've never heard of now has a show.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
I mean, I watched The Mandalorian. I can't really say too much about it.
Right,
So,
yeah.
Now, we have a segment on the show called Turn or Toppings. We're trying to find the best pizza place in Arlington. What's your favorite pizza place?
Favorite pizza place? I mean, I've been a long time fan of Old School.
Okay, yeah.
They're Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's probably one of my favorites. Joe's over off of Park Row.
Oh, yeah. That one's good.
Yeah, that one as well. They have an option where you can get fried eggplant put on top.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's really nice. What about you?
Old School for sure.
Yeah.
We actually just talked to Jeremy last week, and he talked all about, you know, how they started, the kind of situations happened in the last 3 or 4 years.
I love that.
And then
he's back.
yes,
yeah.
And then what they're going to do in the future is going to be, they're going to streamline the menu a little bit, but it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So Old School for sure, and then I like Joe's on what is it? Matlock and 20.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's really good.
I think like in relation
20. It's south of 20. It's right behind. What is it? It's across the street from 7-Eleven. Oh, and right across the street from where Fry's used to be. Now it's going to be. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know
furniture
what you're talking
place.
about. Yeah. The OG Incredible Universe.
Yes,
which is
yes.
awesome to go running around in as a kid.
Yes. Oh, everything was there. It was so awesome. And then have all kinds of random stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
I always wonder. I was like, what is this going to be now? It's Canellas.
Yeah.
It's got Canellas furniture going in it.
Well, and I'm glad that they're still gonna like use it and not tear down the building.
Yes.
Because it was such a cool like 80s vibe going on. So
I thought maybe they were gonna maybe they'll tear it down and extend the Highlands. Who knows?
Yeah.
But no, Highlands is gonna keep going, connect to Collins at some point.
Right.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's getting there.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing though. So if people want to find out more about the Arlington Yoga Center, find you guys online, get some classes, how can they do so?
So we're pretty active on Facebook and Instagram. Both of those are Arlington Yoga Center.
Okay.
We also have a TikTok that we're trying to get a bit more active on. But the main place to get the most information would be our website, which is arlingtonyogacenter.com. We have a bunch of events coming up in July. We have, if you don't mind me kind of
plug away. I was going to ask those too.
Yeah. So we have Cats and Mats Kitty Yoga.
Oh, when is this? My girlfriend's going to love this.
Yeah, that one is the last weekend of June, and it's going to be at the Cozy Cafe.
I just saw about that place today. I didn't know that place existed. So
Yeah. We've had one class or one event in the previous so far, and it sold out immediately.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to keep that an ongoing thing. Aside from that, we have our monthly brunch and yoga at Sanford House and Spa.
Very nice.
We have hike and yoga at Cedar Ridge Preserve.
Okay.
We have both a sound bath and a mommy and me yoga at the Arlington Museum of Art.
Wow.
Coming up in July.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, and we have our sunset yoga at Lake Arlington.
Okay, there you go.
So yeah, so lots of options. A few of those, the sunset yoga is donation based.
Okay.
It's pay what you can. So if a lot of those options aren't affordable or anything of that sort, you can still come. Like, we're not going to deny anybody because they, don't have the means to pay for it. And all of that can be found on our Facebook. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, we just added 2 new classes to the schedule.
Yeah.
So if you've been wanting to come try it out, now's a great time. We have a lot more slots open. We're still doing slightly social distant mat spots. So we have a max amount of 10 people in the classroom as of right now. The hope is to eventually expand that number, but for now we have a max of 10. So we've added some more classes to kind of, give some more availability to people to take class, and I think that's it.
But if they need to find out any more, just go find you guys online, and then all the information will be on there.
Yeah, on our website.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'm sure I'll be out taking a class at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Welcome back to Arlington.
Thank you.
Now, what do you expect different from last time than this time?
Well, hopefully there isn't any pandemic and we can roll through the season. I think it'll be exciting, fun brand of football. I think we learned a lot. Probably right here in Arlington in our first few games that that we can make even better by a long shot. So I'm excited about it. Arlington's been awesome. The people here have really been great to work with. And I know the community will embrace us. We'll get out in the community and be a fun team to support and watch, and looking forward to it.
What did you love most about Arlington last time that you're going to bring?
Just the fans and how well, really, and all the city embraced us, and all the city council and the people, the mayor and everybody, Sean Decker and all the people here with the Rangers, were just so helpful and accommodating, So I look forward to working with everybody again.
Welcome back.
What's it going to be like, basically starting a franchise all over again?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We starting from the ground up again, and we've got great leadership, in our management teams, great ownership. So all of it together, I feel like we've got a great base to start with, and a bunch of great coaches and former players that are all great guys. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Are you going to do your best to try and talk Dwayne into maybe throwing on the shoulder pads for a play or two for your team?
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. He looks like he'd do a pretty good job out there. So anyway, I don't know that that's feasible.
We love New York. It was just a decision that we made as a league, and we think it's the best holistically for what we're trying to achieve.
I've asked the same question I asked them. Obviously, we saw a lot of issues, USFL and the hub, and even though you guys are here, I understand we're playing in the cities, we're going out, but you worry about not having that same fan interaction with the players living in the cities, interacting with the people there.
That's funny you said, when you're in the NFL, the only day that you really have to interact is on Tuesdays, right? So, in the way that you can connect with your fans is far different than when I started in football, through all of your digital and social content and everything around those lines. But we have plans, and Janet Duke, who I'm looking at over there, is our head of marketing. We have plans to be very active in our communities and be a very active member of the community, be in and out of our communities, whether we come in early, we stay late in the off season. We will be we'll be fully embedded in each market that we're in.
When I've read the press release, I'm just kind of reading between the lines.
Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to hijack this. All right. It sounded to me like what you guys might be doing is, I see some similarity like MTV, like in terms of Big Brother, like that kind of access. Are you trying to do sort of a reality TV with a football team during the season?
So one of the nice things about being here is that we're like almost a 24/7 content engine.
Right.
So we have. Listen, people love access. They love, like watching the MLB All-Star game the other night when the guys were in there talking and different things. We can be innovative in that aspect, and that's what we want to do. Listen, there's no greater storytellers than Danny and DJ. So, they get it. They understand that better than anyone, right? So we're going to work with their content teams, the Garcia companies, $7 and our content teams to give the fans what they're looking for, and that's more access. So that's what we're trying to achieve.
So a friend of mine in Mexico who's a reporter, he was asking, is the XFL going to go international? Yeah, are you guys going to plan to have international teams or,
Well, first we're going to get this up and running with all 18, but we are definitely, we have vision, and hopefully that would be a part of the vision as we get this stood up over the next year or two. But nothing's off the table on our end. We're very focused on 2023 and getting that kicked off and then seeing where it all goes.
In your agreement with ESPN, do you know if they're going to have the broadcast on ESPN record this week?
That is a great question that we can get an answer for you, but that is a very, very important partnership for us, our ABC, ESPN, Disney partnership. I think that's the foundation of who we are.
Yeah, the XFL was very famous in Mexico as well.
Yeah. Now, you said you guys are going to be very interactive with the community. In the previous XFL, they had local restaurants like Prince Lebanese as backstage food. Will y'all be doing the same thing here? Because I know the Rangers have picked them up, Hurtado, Eloise.
We're in the infant stages, but yeah, I mean, to your point there, that's exactly what we want to do. Okay. We want to be super involved with our communities. The cool thing is, especially here, we're going to be in Arlington. We're going to be living here, eating in local restaurants, and there are going to be 1,000 people here in the month of January to February alone, and I think we'll have a significant economic impact here in the community.
Now, also, with being Texas and North Texas is not exactly weather-friendly all the time, how are y'all going to be working with that, considering it's an outside?
So we're working with our athletic directors that I acknowledged earlier on indoors as well when we need that. I worked in Buffalo for 22 years, so we practice outside most of the time. But, when we have some real severe weather, we'll look at alternative measures there.
Right. I know Arlington High has a really good
Yes, they do.
Stadium,
yeah, our team here of athletic directors, Mayor Ross, they've been incredible. Right. This guy right here, Sean Decker, he's like a family member at this point. Right. So
now, also, somebody else mentioned you guys are trying to do maybe like a Big Brother type situation. It seems more y'all are going to the esports streaming type situation where it's creating content on a regular basis. Right. Are you guys kind of maybe using some of that as a model as well, considering that's been taking off like crazy?
Yeah, we're going to be obviously over the air, with our ESPN relationships and things like that. But the cool thing for us is because we're here and in one location, we have the opportunity to co-create. Jana here and her team on the content side, it's going to be 24/7. So we're very excited about that.
That's awesome.
Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much to Santi and Marissa. And also for the XFL for having our very own Rody John out to be part of the festivities when all the kerfuffle was happening at Choctaw Stadium.
Mm-hmm. It was so much fun. Thank you again, the XFL, for allowing me to be out there. I look forward to the games coming up next February. Depending on the weather here in Texas, you never know how that's going to be. So I either need a jacket or I could wear shorts. I'm not sure.
I would, also say check out the Jackals, and Arlington Yoga Center is always doing really cool stuff all over the city. Just check them out. And while you're doing that, remember that every Monday is trivia night at Dr. Jekyll's at 7 p.m.
And then every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. to midnight, Blitz Lounge is having karaoke night.
Every second Tuesday, Create Arlington has their open mic and poetry night.
And then every Wednesday night, head on over to Jambo's Barbecue to catch UTA Jazz Night, and that is from 5:30 to 7:30.
And then every Wednesday night is Trivia Night at Division Brewing, 7 to 9 p.m. Grab the belt, grab a pint.
And then One Love Lounge hosts their Artist Love Night, a.k.a. their open mic night, every Thursday starting at 8 p.m.
And remember, while you're out doing all that,
make sure to go out and eat local, drink local, and
go rediscover your city.
Tag us and send those pictures over to us on Facebook, Arlington Citizen Media, Twitter, ATX Citizen Media. Tag us on Instagram, Arlington Citizen Media, and send those pictures the old-fashioned way.
email arlingtoncitizenmedia@gmail.com. Also go to our website, www.arlingtoncitizenmedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe and give those 5-star reviews of The Downtown at Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also hit us on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.